Hello Animation Club, this is just going to be a quick guide to help you get things set up on your own computer the same way we have them on the computers at school. So first thing you'll want to do is install Blender. So you can just go to the Blender website and just click the download button. There might be options for different operating systems. Make sure you select the one that you have. The other thing you'll need to download is if you are going to be using the drawing tablets, you'll want to download the driver software. So we can go to huion.com, and then in the support menu, click on download. And then you're going to need to search for the product model that you have. So yours is going to be different than mine. You'll want to look on the outside of the box for the tablet to check what model number it is. But then once you have the model number, you can just search for the driver and download the one that goes to the operating system you're using. And once those things have been downloaded, you can go ahead and install them. So can just click on them in your downloads. That process will be a little bit different depending on your operating system, but just follow the instructions that your computer gives you, and you should be able to install those fairly easily. Now, once we've got the Huion tablet software installed, let's go ahead and plug your tablet in. You might need to use the adapters that are included depending on what ports your computer has, but you can go ahead and open up that software and make sure that it says device connected. That'll tell you that the tablet is properly set up and you're ready to actually use it. Now, the first time you try to draw with your tablet on your computer, it is most likely going to request security permissions. So you're going to have to go into your settings and change that so that it has the permissions it needs to actually be able to understand the input and control your computer. So that will vary from computer to computer and from operating system to operating system. But if you need help figuring out how to give it the permissions it needs, just shoot me an email or a text, let me know. So now that we've got our device connected, we can go ahead and actually start changing some of these settings that we talked about. So as we mentioned before, we probably want to change this button on our pen from just a keyboard shortcut of E to a mouse button. And we can use the mouse middle button so that then we can rotate our view and do all that kind of stuff without having to use the mouse. We can just use our pen. And then let's click OK on that. And if at any point you're trying to use your mouse buttons on your pen and it's not working, you can check this little box that says mouse mode. You don't always need that, but if it's not working, you can try that. This gives us a little option to test to make sure our pen is working properly. Looks like it is. So then let's also change the settings on the keys on our tablet. So we want to be able to do Shift, Control, Alt, and if you're on a Mac, then you also want to be able to do Command without having to jump over to your keyboard. So we can click on this, and I'm going to set it to Shift, and then I have to clear the string to get it down to just Shift. And click OK. And then I can set these to Control and Alt and so on. Okay, so we're done, so we can click Apply. And we're going to leave this program open in the background while we work, because I've found that that makes everything work just a little bit smoother to still have the Huion tablet software running in the background. So I'll just minimize that. And then let's go ahead and open up Blender. Now we're going to go ahead and change this to right-click select and search with our spacebar. And then you can go ahead and click out of this window. All right, so now we've got our basic Blender project set up. Let's go to Edit up in the top left-hand corner and go to Preferences. And then we're going to change the key map. So we can see up here we've got our right-click select and search from what we did at the beginning, which is good. So then let's go into View 2D. And we want to change our options for pan and zoom so that we're taking full advantage of these nice mice that we have. So let's go to our third option for pan and just click on that. And then you can press this button that's right in front of your thumb when your hand is on the mouse. Just press that. And that changes this option to button 5 on the mouse, which is good. So then if we go down to Zoom 2D View right here, we can click on that, and let's press this button on our mouse. So that's behind your thumb when you've got your hand on the mouse. We press that, then you can see we've got button 4 on the mouse set to zoom our 2D view, which is great. Now let's close View 2D and go down to 3D View. And we want to be in 3D View Global. So then let's scroll down until we find our options for pan and zoom. Okay, so let's not change these first ones because we don't want to get rid of those in case we end up using Blender with a normal mouse at some point. Let's go down to here. So we've got this option for pan view and these options for zoom view. So let's change this pan view to this button on our mouse, so button 5. And let's change this option for zoom view to this button on our mouse, so button 4. Then we can go ahead and close out of our preferences and test it out. So middle mouse button, that's the scroll wheel, we can hold that down to rotate. And then button 5, which is the button right in front of our thumb, we can hold down to pan. And button 4, which is the button behind our thumb, we can hold down to zoom in and out. And we can do that all very easily without messing with the keyboard at all. All right, and then let's also really quickly test our pen. So the top of the button should be right-click. So if we right-click, we can select things, which is good. The bottom button on our pen should be middle mouse, which should rotate our view. So if we hold that down, we're rotating it, which is great. And then we can go over into, let's make a new project that's a 2D animation project. And just test really quickly to make sure that we've got everything set up correctly for being able to draw, which it looks like we do. All right, so now we've got our tablet set up, we've got all the settings in Blender that we want, and we are good to go.